Okay, I just did a quick, very informal tutorial on how to put on a belt. I had also told a few people that I'd do a quick video of some basic Ukemi stuff. And even though I think they were asking for something that doesn't start this early, I'll start with the very early step of rolling and from kneeling position. So, if I have my feet down like this, it's called seiza. It's a Japanese sitting position. It's like a kneeling sit. We call these dead toes, sort of an English translation of it. If I'm up on my toes like this, we call it live toes. The term is kiza. Okay, so we're going to be in kiza for this kind of roll. Now, I don't want to roll this way. I want to be just like I would be in hamni, which hopefully you've gone over that T stance, but kneeling down. So one way is pointing that way. My back hand is going to be my supporting hand. I'm facing the way I'm going. My front hand is going to reach through, as if there's like a little mouse or something that's running. This is what one instructor likes to say, there's a little mouse that's running through, and you're trying to catch the mouse and you end up pushing your back leg. So what you do is this. I want to end up on live toes. So again, like this, and this is really rough, just quick showing. Leaning forward in the direction. I'm facing the direction I want to roll. I'm not going to roll to my side and go across my back like that. So, knee forward, knee even, just like if I was standing in hamni. Slide through, reach for that back leg and kick the back leg over my head. I'm going to roll from my front shoulder to my back hip. Alright, so that's from kneeling. From standing, what I want to do is, I'm in hamni once again, I'm facing the way I'm going to be. I want to gradually lower myself. Gradual decline. I don't want to just go dump, because the closest I am to the ground, the easier the fall is going to be. This arc, I want to preserve. It's my protection. It's what I'm going to roll across. If that collapses, I meet the mat like that. That's actually going to hurt. So don't think, oh my God, and go like this. It'll hurt more. You want to keep this out, okay? And as you're going down, you're relaxed, but this is extended. So I'm reaching forward until I let gravity take over from this angle, so you can see it from both sides. And I'm trying to make this nice and soft. Quiet, soft rolls, because if I'm slapping, it can actually, there are some schools of thought where they do this a lot when they land. That's nice if you have a mat, but I don't think it's, in my personal opinion, the most practical way of doing rolls. I always try to be as soft as possible, even with high falls, just to make it easier on myself. So I'm relaxed, but I have this arc. I'm going down gradually, bending both knees to bring myself close to the mat. I'm reaching out, and again, just like when I was kneeling, I'm going to be going from here, across to this shoulder, to my back hip. Nice, soft, quiet rolls. The back roll, same kind of thing, but in reverse. What I like to do is take my front foot and trace it back. Because if somebody pushes you or you're actually taking a back roll, you're going to have that backwards motion. So instead of just doing it right there, I trace my front foot back. I do not do this. I trace it. As I trace it, I bend everything. But I keep the front of my body going forward a little bit. This helps me for balance. Again, gradual decline, but this time backwards. For the simple breakdown, it goes kneel, sit, roll. That's for the beginning, when you're just trying to get the feel of it. Eventually, it's all one motion because it's going steadily back. And then you don't get that thump of the kneeling part. So I'm going to trace back. What ends up being my front foot, along with my hands, I'm going to kick over that same shoulder. So if it ends up being that my left foot is my front foot, I'm going to kick that all over my left shoulder. And then the other foot, after I've kicked, is going to reach. That helps me control. So I'm lowering myself, kicking, reaching. See how that foot reaches? It lets me control it a little bit. So, sliding it back. This ends up being my front foot. Lower myself and lean forward, kick my front foot, which is on the left side in this case, over my left shoulder. Throw my arms too to give myself a little momentum. And then after my left foot kicks over, my right foot is going to reach for the mat, toes down. So that, I land on my toes, I get up, and I'm in Hamni once again. So that's your basic back roll. Another type of back roll starts off the same way. This is called a Shiro-yoku kaiten. So I'm going to start the same way, but the hand of the foot that ends up being the back foot is going to reach out to the side and slide. Just like that. Then what happens is I kick both my feet out and I shift my weight. So this is my right foot forward. My right foot ends up being the back one. My weight's going to go to my right hand side because that's where I'm sliding. I kick, shift my weight to my left, slide back around. If you want to get a feel for that, simple exercise, sit like this and imagine that you're kind of paralyzed, you can't move anything. All you can do is shift your weight. So all this stays extended. I'm going to tip to my right, to my left, to my right, to my left. Nothing else is moving. I'm relaxed, but everything's extended. Now think about that in the context of this. To my left, to my right, and up. So slide, lower, slide, open, out. That's the basic Ushiro-yoku kaiten. Another one, again, this is an informal video, and I don't remember the Japanese term for this, but we tend to call it the backstroke. It's like you're doing a backstroke. Let's start with the most basic version. You're going to do a backstroke into a front roll. So I'm facing this way. My front foot and my front arm are going to go back together. I'm going to face this, I'm going to end up facing the opposite way this time around, because this is the starter. That. Front roll. Once again, here, step back, lower yourself, front roll. Once you're comfortable with that, keep looking the way you were coming and reach for your ankle. It has the same exact feel of what you just did, and you know the mat is there and you're going to reach it, but you're looking where you were coming. So you keep looking where you're coming. Somebody's throwing you, you still see them. All right? As you progress and get more advanced, you can switch this back into the front roll approach, but you can take a high fall from there. Soft as I can possibly do it. So, same thing as the front roll. But what I'm doing is I'm letting my backhand reach out, and I'm going through. Backhand reaches out, that's what touches first. And just like a front roll, my head goes through. So that's a little further step with that. One last thing you can do to practice your rolls a little off balance. Take your back hip. I'm not a good kicker, but from your hip, kick so that it turns your body. Hips, everything hips. Kick, turn, lower your front foot, roll. It's just good practice. I'm getting my balance back at the end so I can show you, but really just kick, turn, roll. You can also do punch, turn, roll. It's a lot like receiving a kotegaeshi and getting yourself ready for that high fall. So you can do punch, turn, roll. Punch, turn, roll. And if you want to practice Because some cases, like for example, a Juji Nage, where they have you like this, some people don't let go of your arms in time. If they hold on to the top hand, fine, you get a nice fun high fall. If they hold on to both, they might support you for it. But sometimes they hold on just long enough and then let go, and you don't have time to get your arms out for the roll. So what you can do is practice just with your elbows. Roll. If you have that motion down for a regular front roll, then it's the same motion that protects you to be able to roll like that without hurting yourself. One last tip I'll give you, that I teach my classes as well, is if you want to learn high falls, which a lot of people like, or break falls, or sutemi, or whatever you want to call them, a very comfortable way of doing it, I call it the low high fall. And you'll see videos of this online. I wish I could remember offhand who I first saw this from so I could give credit. It's an Asian guy. I think he's from California. You can look it up. But what he does is it's like he's doing the kneeling front roll, but he stretches out the back leg and keeps it straight. This hand doesn't really function for support anymore, because once your shoulder goes down, shoulders to the mat, this hand reaches out. So the palm is facing up. Initially it's facing your body, then up. Keep reaching with that arm. Your foot is going to end up following. And then that same feel as before. So my shoulder goes to the ground, reach with the back hand, keep reaching. Eventually your body's going to want to follow it because you can't stretch any further. And then it's nice and soft. And eventually the same thing. Wasn't as soft as I'd like it, but you get the idea. So I hope this helps you with your Ukemi, or a reminder for any of the students in my class who just want to look at this in between. Thank you very much.